Some people notice a change before anyone says a word. A familiar voice sounds slightly quieter. A smile appears, but the eyes do not fully join it. A person who usually speaks with ease suddenly chooses fewer words. And even if nothing obvious has happened, something inside you quietly says, something is different. Many people who experience this begin to doubt themselves. They wonder if they are overthinking. They ask themselves if they are reading too much into small details. Sometimes they even try to ignore what they feel because others do not seem to notice it. But what is often misunderstood as overanalyzing can actually be a form of deep awareness. Because noticing small changes in people usually means your mind is paying attention to patterns that others pass by. It means your brain remembers how someone normally behaves and quickly senses when something shifts. Psychology shows that human awareness is not only about seeing what is obvious, it is also about detecting what changes quietly beneath the surface. And if you often notice those quiet changes, your mind may be doing something very valuable. It may be reading emotional detail with unusual depth. In this video, we will talk about deep 6 traits you notice small changes in people. Now let's dive in. The first reason is that your brain may naturally track emotional patterns. Research indicates that the brain constantly builds internal patterns of the people around us. Without realizing it, you remember how someone usually speaks, how often they pause, how they react to certain topics, and what their normal energy feels like. So when one small detail changes, your mind notices. Maybe a friend who usually sends long messages suddenly replies with only one word. Maybe someone who normally jokes during conversation becomes unexpectedly serious. Maybe a person's usual warmth feels slightly distant for just a few minutes. Others may not think much of it, but your brain compares that moment to everything it has already learned. That is why the difference stands out to you. This does not mean you are searching for problems. It often means your mind is highly tuned to consistency. And pattern awareness is a real strength because it helps you understand what people may not be saying directly. The second reason is that you may be highly sensitive to emotional signals. Psychology shows that some people naturally notice tone, body language, and facial shifts more quickly than others. This is not always dramatic. Sometimes it is very subtle. A person says they are fine, but their voice sounds lower than usual. Someone laughs, but the laughter ends too quickly. A family member answers normally, yet something about their expression feels tired. These are details many people miss because they focus mostly on words. But your attention may naturally move toward what words cannot fully hide. And often, emotional truth appears there first. Research indicates that much of human communication happens through nonverbal signals. That means the smallest changes can carry real meaning. So when you notice these signals, you are not being difficult. You may simply be seeing a layer that others overlook. This can make you someone who understands people deeply, even without long explanations. The third reason is that your awareness may come from strong memory for human detail. Some minds store emotional information very precisely. You may remember how someone looked the last time they were truly relaxed. You may notice when their eye contact changes. You may even sense when a person is speaking normally, but emotionally feels somewhere else. Psychology shows that awareness often depends on comparison. The mind notices because it remembers. That means your observations are often built from many quiet memories working together. For example, if someone usually speaks confidently but begins hesitating around one certain topic, your mind may catch it immediately. If a person normally enjoys being around others but starts withdrawing little by little, you may notice before anyone else does. This ability often makes people think you are intuitive, but much of what feels like intuition is actually memory meeting observation. Your brain is connecting details quickly, and that kind of attention is a quiet form of intelligence. The fourth reason is that you may have learned to read what people feel beneath what they say. Research indicates that people often communicate two messages at once, the one they speak and the one they reveal unintentionally. This is why someone can say, everything is okay, while their energy says something else. And if you often notice small changes, you may naturally listen to both. You may hear the sentence, but also notice the pause before it. You may notice when someone agrees too quickly. You may sense when kindness sounds forced because something underneath has changed. This ability is often misunderstood because it can look like you are noticing too much. But often, you are simply aware of emotional layers, and this awareness can help you respond gently. Sometimes it means asking someone, "Are you sure you're okay?" at exactly the moment they needed someone to ask. Sometimes it means understanding that a person's mood is not about you, even when their words are short. That kind of emotional reading creates understanding instead of conflict. The fifth reason is that highly aware people often process environments deeply, not just individuals. Psychology shows that awareness is not only about faces and words, it also includes atmosphere. You may walk into a room and immediately sense that something feels tense. You may notice when a group becomes quieter after one person speaks. You may feel when someone's mood changes the energy around them, even if nobody mentions it. This happens because your attention is not only focused on direct interaction, it also notices emotional movement around you. And while this can sometimes feel tiring, it also means you often understand situations more clearly than people realize. You may know when someone needs space before they ask for it. You may sense when a conversation is becoming uncomfortable before others notice. That awareness can help you protect peace, offer kindness, or simply understand what is happening without needing everything explained. The sixth reason is that your awareness may reflect emotional maturity more than you think. Research indicates that people who reflect deeply often become more accurate in noticing subtle human behavior. This is because reflection teaches the mind to observe before reacting. Instead of only hearing words, you also notice timing, mood, and meaning. Instead of taking every small shift personally, you often pause and ask yourself what may be happening beneath it. This does not mean you always know exactly why someone changed, but it means your mind respects complexity. And that is maturity. You understand that people carry things they do not always say. You understand that a person can care and still be tired, that someone can smile and still feel heavy inside, that silence can mean many things. This kind of awareness creates compassion when it is balanced well. Of course, noticing small changes can sometimes feel heavy too, because when your mind sees subtle things, you may also notice discomfort others ignore. You may feel affected by changes that nobody talks about. You may wonder if you should ignore what you sense. But awareness is not a weakness. It simply needs calm interpretation. Not every change means something serious. Not every silence means distance. But your ability to notice still matters, because many people move through life missing what is quiet, and you may be someone who sees what is quiet clearly. That is not something to be ashamed of. It is something to understand. If you notice small changes in people, it may mean your mind is highly aware, emotionally attentive, and quietly intelligent in ways that are easy to overlook. You may understand more than you speak. You may sense more than you explain. And often, that awareness becomes one of your greatest strengths when you trust it without letting it control you. Sometimes the smallest details reveal the deepest truths about people. And sometimes the people who notice those details are the ones who understand others most deeply. If this felt familiar, it may be because your mind has been working this way for a long time without fully being recognized. So keep honoring that part of yourself. And if you want more calm insights about personality, hidden strengths, and the deeper meaning behind the way people think and feel, subscribe, like, and comment to stay connected for more videos like this.